Hello all, welcome to Smart Classes. In today's class, we will discuss about the movements of identity in Telangana. That is, uh, till now we have discussed about Mulkis and non-Mulkis. And these discussions were mostly about Mulkis and non-Mulki Muslims, and there was a fight between the official language between Persian and Urdu. Here comes the third language, which is Telugu. Majority of the people in the Hyderabad state used to speak Telugu, and these Telugu people were having the identity crisis. They used to love their language and they used to study in their language, but they definitely did not get jobs in the government because the official language of the government was Persian till 1884, and from 1884 it was Urdu. So both the languages were not Hindu languages, and most of the people in the region used to speak Telugu. And there was a lot of discrimination made against the Telugu people in the meetings and in different associations. So these Telugu people fought for their identity. And these are the different phases and movements which took place in the Hyderabad state during the Nizam 7. So basically, in today's class, we will just learn about the library movement and the Adi Hindu movement. Adi Hindus are nothing but Harijans or untouchables. Untouchables. So today we'll basically study about Adi Hindu movement in Telangana and the library movement, which came for the which gave the recognition to Telugu books and Telugu scriptures. And the Adi Hindu movement is basically for the Harijans and the Untouchables. And an important name we will come across, or will, all through the Adi Hindu movement will come across an important name, which is Bhagya Reddy Verma. Bhagya Reddy Verma. So today in this class we'll mostly study about Bhagya Verma and his contributions towards the enlightenment of the untouchables or the Harijans. So going on, here's the next slide which discusses about the library movement. Here we definitely need to remember three names. The first name is Kommar Raju Venkat Lakshman Rao, Ravichettu Rangarao, Adipudi Somanatha Rao. So these three people have established libraries and different associations for, for upliftment of the Telugu language. So, the first library, which is established in Koti, Hyderabad, is Sri Krishnadevaraya Andhra Bhasha Nilayam. So, this was established by these three people in order to give the access to the Telugu people, Telugu books and Telugu scriptures to the ordinary or a common man. And then they have established Rajaraja Narendra Andhra Bhasha Nilayam in Hanmakonda 1902. They have finally established 110 libraries by 1927. This was the first library, and then this was the second library. After that, there were many libraries established, and till 1927 it was the number went up to 110 libraries. And then comes the Vijnana Chandrika Grantha Mandali, an association which was established in Chennai by these three people with the help of Gadichalla Harisarvottamara, Achanta Lakshmipati, C.B. Ramarao. So these three people have established this association with the support of the other three scholars in Telugu language. They have established this association in Chennai because in Hyderabad state, Nizam definitely did not allow the establishment of the association in Hyderabad state. As we have already learned, he has stalled uh, meetings and different associations, congregations in Hyderabad state. And then one fine day, they thought of shifting the office from here. We have studied that they have established Vignan Chandrika Grantha Mandali in Chennai, and they thought of shifting it to Hyderabad. But because the opposition from Nizam, they have again shifted the office from Hyderabad to Chennai. restrictions on meetings and gatherings and libraries under Nizam's rule. This made them shift the thing from Hyderabad to Chennai. Initially, Ravi Chettu Rangara and Adi Raju Veerabhadra Rao, these two people have shifted the office from Chennai to Hyderabad, and then it was again shifted back to Hyderabad to Chennai because of the opposition by Nizam. And finally, this led to the establishment of four different associations. One is Andhra Janasangam, Vande Mataram Movement, Nizam Andhra Mahasabha, agitation against non-mulki activities. So, this library movement has led for the establishment of four different associations during the Nizam's rule, supporting the Telugu people, their literature, their language, culture, etc. And then coming to the second step in the cultural in the movement from in the movements of Telangana identity in the movements of identity in Telangana and the transformation of mulki agitation to cultural agitation. So basically, it started with the livelihood, and finally, it came to the culture. So culture of every society is really important for them. So the enlightenment and the upliftment of the culture is really important. And then comes the Adi Hindu movement. As I already told you, Adi Hindus are nothing but Harijans or the untouchables. And here comes the famous name Madhuri Bhagya Reddy Verma. He is a great and famous social reformer who worked for the enlightenment of untouchables till his death. He basically lived for 51 years, and these 51 years he only worked day and night for the enlightenment of the untouchables and upliftment of them. Basically, his main aim was abolition of the untouchability. Initially, he didn't like the name of. He initially coined the name Adi Hindus, and he has established an NGO. NGO is a non-governmental organization, which is an NGO, Jagan Mitra Mandali, in 1906. The name of this NGO was changed to Manya Sangam in 1911. He also established Dharma Pracharini Sabha, which is a publishing house, in 1920. He used to publish different articles to enlighten the untouchables. And then he has established a Swastik Dal. This Swastik Dal was responsible for helping people during their diseases. Because people who were having different diseases were made to be untouchables, and there was no one to help them. So he formed an association of volunteers, which is known as Swastik Dal, in 1912 to help the people in distress. And in the Hindu movement, we can divide into different subtopics. The first one is Adi Hindu Social Service League. As I already told you, this is like Swastik Dal, which offers voluntary services to the society. Members of all sections, not only untouchables, it offers service to the poor people or any person who is in distress or any person who is in need. And then comes the Adi Hindu Volunteer Corps to help the poor when affected by this is specifically for the people affected by different diseases. And he has also established Humanitarian League, which is known as Raksha Jiva Gnana Prachara Mandali, along with Roy Bal Mukund in 1913. Bhagyareddy Verma and Roy Bal Mukund in 1913 have established Aksha Jivana Jnana Prachara Mandal, which is basically a humanitarian league. Bala Mukund was was a serious social reformer, and he also fought against the welfare of he also fought for the welfare of Harijans. Basically, Bal Mukund wrote a will before his death that his relatives should not conduct funeral for him, but the funeral for him to be conducted by Harijans. Harijans should do the last rites after his death. In order to give the message to the society, he has written his will in this way. And then Bhagya Reddy Verma, 1914, he has established a branch of Brahma Samaj in Hyderabad at Hanuman Tegdi. And he has also established Sangha Samskara Nataka Mandali in 1915 and then Deccan Humanitarian League in 1915, Vishwa Gruha Paricharika Sammelanam in 1916. And then there were different seminars conducted for seminar of Adi Andhra's Bhagya Reddy Verma's tour in Andhra. Basically, there was a seminar which was named Panchama Seminar. Basically, these Harijans were called Panchamas, and this Panchama name has been removed and converted to Adi Andhra by the second day. And the seminar name was converted to Adi Andhra Seminar, which was initially named Panchama Seminar, which was converted to Adi Andhra Seminar by the second day by passing a resolution. Basically, what does this resolution say? The resolution passed basically says that on the national level, Harijans were called Adi Hindus. In Andhra Pradesh, they were called Adi Andhras. In Madras, Adi Dravidas. Mysore, Adi Karnatakas. Bombay, Adi Maharashtras, and so on. Basically, they were no more called by the local slang names. They were definitely should be called with respect, and they should be called Adi Hindus in the national level, and they have different respectful names at the local levels. So the resolution passed uh, has helped giving a nice name or a respectful name to the Harijans. And finally, in this seminar, there were 18 different resolutions passed. Basically, these resolutions involved in giving the government jobs to Harijans and allowing them in shops, restaurants, hotels, in public places, temples, etc. These resolutions basically they were for the welfare, welfare or the equality of Adi Hindus. And then on 20th January 1922, removed terms Panchama or Paraya. These two names were used for designating Harijans. These two names were removed or completely abolished by the Madras government in on 20th January 1922. And then the second thing, which is Gandhiji and Bhagya Reddy Verma, All India Hindus Reforms Seminar. Basically, there was a Divya Gnana seminar conducted in Calcutta on 15 December 1917. On the same lines, there was a Congress meeting also held in Calcutta in the same time. Basically, N.G. Wellinkar, President of Hyderabad Deccan Brahma Samaj, chaired the sessions of Congress during that time. So, he invited Bhagya Reddy Verma to attend the meeting, and Bhagyareddy Verma also attend the meeting. He also spoke at the Congress meeting. Prafulla Chandra Roy invited Bhagyareddy Verma to speak on enlightenment of untouchables in the meeting. He was the president of Congress then. So he basically he basically asked Bhagirathi Verma to speak on the enlightenment of untouchables. Let me summarize this again. Bhagyareddy Verma went to Calcutta to attend the Divya Gnana seminar in Calcutta on 15 December 1917. At the same time, Congress meetings were going on. There was a person who is known as N.G. Wellenkar, who was the president of Hyderabad Deccan Brahma Samaj, which was established by Bhagyareddy Verma. He has chaired the sessions of Congress, so he has invited Bhagirathi Verma to the Congress meetings, and the then President of Congress, who is Prafulla Chandra Roy, he invited Bhagirathi Verma to speak on the enlightenment of the untouchables. When Bhagirathi Verma spoke, there were many contradictions made by Gandhiji, but he summarized uh, by saying that by praising Verma's services towards the untouchables. Gandhiji was also present in the same meeting. Initially, he had some contradicting points with Bhagirathi Verma, but also praised Verma's services towards the untouchables. And then, finally, impressed by Verma's words, Gandhiji named his weekly Harijans because Verma never used Paraya or Panchama to the lower caste people or the untouchables. He has been using Adi Hindus or Harijans. Gandhiji took the name Harijans from Bhagirathi Verma and he has made the name famous by naming his weekly Harijan. And he has started using the name Harijan for untouchables commonly outside the in the whole country. So the word Harijan has become famous. And then Gandhiji finally visits Adi Hindu Bhavan in April 1929. Basically, Gandhiji came to Hyderabad to attend different meetings, and he has visited Adi Hindu Bhavan. There were there were many restrictions or many people saying that Gandhiji should not stay in Adi Hindu Bhavan as it belongs to the untouchables. But Gandhiji went and stayed in Adi Hindu Bhavan in order to prove that he untouchables are not untouchables and they are normal human beings as we are. So he went and stayed with Adi Hindus in order to enlighten or in order to pave the way for the welfare of the untouchables. And finally, Adi Hindu Mahasabha was established, and there were four different meetings conducted in between 1921 and 24. Meetings of Adi Hindu Mahasabha were conducted, and the first meeting was chaired by Papanna in Belgaum, and the second meeting Vaman Nayak, third meeting Keshavarao Koratkar, and the fourth meeting by Raja Dhanraj Giri. And then the next one is Adi Hindu seminar, which was held in North India, and All India Adi Hindu movement at Lucknow. So basically, there were different political meetings also held by the Adi Hindus in order to get the Adi Hindus into the politics or into the decision making or give equal opportunities to Harijans or Adi Hindus in different fields. So, political meetings on 27th and 28th September were held at Lucknow. Bhagya Verma elected to chair those meetings. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar elected as representatives of Adi Hindus as a second roundtable conference in 1931. And then there was a Adi Hindu political meeting in Nizam's state, which was conducted in Bolaram, Secunderabad, because this area was a cantonment area as and it was under control of British. So the hold of Nizams in this area is less. That is why they have taken the advantages of the position and the place, and they have conducted the Adi Hindu political meeting in Bolaram on 7th April 1931. And the resolutions passed during this meeting is abolition of bounded labor and appointment of Adi Hindus in police department. And finally, after fighting so much for the Adi Hindus, one day Bhagyareddy Varma's health deteriorates. Even after the deterioration of his health, he has established Reddy Bhumi Nava, Navayuvaka Mandali, conducted Adi Hindu meeting in May 1933 at Nagpur, for which Bhagya Reddy Verma was the president. Nizam government gives grant to Adi Hindu schools. Finally, because of the fight of Bhagya Reddy Verma, Nizam government has given grants to the Adi Hindu schools, and it has accepted his condition, which is Telugu medium being the language of education in these Adi Hindu schools. Finally, there were Telugu medium schools established in Hyderabad state, and Nizam government has given the permission. Adi Hindu meetings discusses the political reforms. Basically, after sometimes there were different Adi Hindus in different departments. So Adi Hindus from 43 different departments has attended the meeting, for which chairman was B.S. Venkatrao, who is the chairperson of the municipal corporation during those times. In the resolution passed in this meeting, 10 seats were given to Adi Hindus in special constituency. Basically, 10 seats were reserved for Adi Hindus in special category constituencies. And then finally, last moments of Bhagirathi Verma. In April 1938, he has become seriously sick and expired on 18 February 1939, and his age was 51 then. In Hyderabad state, even if he was alive for 51 years, but he has done a lot that we are even remembering him even today. So he will live long, and he is living for so many years. So after him, in Hyderabad state, his activities and his reforms and his welfare activities were uh, taken over by B.S. Venkatrao and Arike Ramaswamy. Continued the activities of Bhagirathi Verma. For today, let's take the inspiration from Bhagirathi Verma, and do something for the society, and do something for the welfare of the poor people, and do something for the welfare of the distressed. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. Signing off. Smart classes. Keep smiling. Thank you again. Bye bye.